it's 5.8 and all the characters, at least for Natlan, are released. So I thought, let's make a little tier list. I've done this many times over the years I've played this game. Way too many, and I'm unfortunately way too up with the meta. So I thought, why not have random guy on the internet tell you what you should play and what the best characters are? Because I am totally qualified to do so. Full disclosure, I have a bunch of tiers, as you can see. We're going all the way up to triple S. So everything in the S tier is just good. You know, it's S tier, A tier. Usable, you should pull, absolutely. B tier is just, you know, it's the middle of the road. You can use them. They're probably good, but also some of them aren't. C tier, they're either hyper specific or you just shouldn't play them at all. D tier is just like these characters shouldn't play, and F tier is just they shouldn't be in the game. I think it's all very self-explanatory. I think everybody should know how a tier list works. The tier list era has unfortunately passed, but you know, we're still making one. I will be judging like not fully off meta and like the mutual consent of the player base. I do put my own opinions out there, so I guess it's like a warning of some kind that I'm gonna give my hot takes, because I do think some characters are a little bit overhyped and some characters are a little bit underappreciated. Also, this will be like rated a bit differently. Like I will rate support and DPSs way differently than each other, obviously. But also, like, I will not be like, oh yeah, child at C6 is totally S tier. It's like the characters are mostly rated Z0 and the 4 stars. Some of them get the C6 treatment because it's very easy to get some 4-star C6. And also, some of them are just way better at C6 and definitely need that buff to be comparable to some of the 5 stars, or else this tier list would be very boring. So with all that out of the way, I think we just should start now. So with having that said, I think we just blah, blah, blah. So with having said all of that, I think we should just get started with our very first character, the Traveler. So for the Travelers, I always like, especially since we're in Natlan now, to have the first 3 elements, so Animo, Geo, and Electro, be represented by Lumine in this case. And the other ones, Dendro, Hydro, and Pyro by Ether. So with that in mind, Lumine is our first F tier, because let's be real, like, you should never use the Travelers. I made the mistake, but like the first 3 Travelers are just unusable. You cannot use them. The other ones, however, are actually pretty good. Dendro, if you have no one else, is actually pretty viable. Hydro isn't really that good. I would probably put Hydro like D. But Pyro is definitely like, I use Pyro Traveler personally. He's a C, so I would put him C minus. Like down in the middle. I think Dendro is C. Pyro is C. Although Pyro isn't like that great of a DPS. It is not, by far not the best. It is passable. You could absolutely use it. And I have seen people unironically see Abyss. Hydro is well, I built Hydro Traveler, fun fact. He did shit damage. It didn't work at all. So I'm gonna put him in the middle. Like, you know, best of both worlds. Aloy. Aloy. Quite literally the only character I never played. I'm not even gonna lie, I never played Aloy. I don't own Aloy because I wasn't around for the event. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna put her F tier. Like I never saw anything good of Aloy. Aloy is like not even used. I'm not even going to count Aloy, to be honest, on this tier list. Like I don't think she's really, like, she should be counted as a character. She's so bad, people don't even count her as being a character. So I'm also not gonna really count her. I'm just gonna put her in F tier because she's irrelevant. Jean. I feel like Jean to me is always the good benchmark of the perfect B tier. I always say Jean is the perfect B tier because she's B for basic. B for basic bitch. That's always what I say about Jean. It's like she is literally like the most I am a support type support ever. She doesn't do anything great, but she also doesn't do anything bad. She is just viable. You could say she is like B plus because of Fontaine and Farina being around. So she definitely got more value over time, but also more supports are able to heal and also buff now. So I'm gonna put her in B tier. She's always being like the B tier of B tier characters, the middle of the road. Lisa. I always thought Lisa was like B tier, but to be honest, I think she's C tier. I don't think she's that good. Like Lisa, I love Lisa's character, but I feel like her kid being like the first character and all, it's kind of understandable that she's pretty bad, but unfortunately, it has to be this way. Lisa's just not that great. Amber, am I going to sugarcoat this? Because honestly, in my opinion, I would say D tier, but I feel like like practically. Ah, fuck it. Gameplay is F tier. I don't even have to sugarcoat it. Like her ult, I've only seen it in like speed runs. Her ult to like be any useful, so that's like the only point I can give her. But I'm convinced till this day that her Baron Bunny just doesn't work. Like it does not aggro at all. I don't know if it's supposed to aggro, but I've been told it should aggro and it doesn't. So I'm just gonna take points off that. Noel. This channel is pretty new, but I definitely have more presence on the internet. And if you know me, and I'm saying it here right now, if you watched the Dendro video, you probably already know this. But I am a Noel main. Putting her not in triple S tier is very difficult for me. And I really want to do it, I'm not gonna lie. But I am going to restrain myself. I would say, like, her without anything at Z0 is probably B plus, maybe even B. Like, she isn't really that great. But if we're rating her with, like, we're actually using Noelle in a team as a DPS, because even Hoyo itself, I think, classifies Noelle as a DPS nowadays instead of a support. I would say she is A tier. I genuinely believe that Noelle in recent years has gotten very good. The problem with Noelle and why no one plays her, it's because, well, why would you? Like, I'm gonna be honest, with every single 5-star DPS in the game being almost automatically better than Noelle, why would you even bother playing Noelle? That's kind of the problem she has. But if you actually play Noelle and you build her like I did, she's actually very good. Like my Noelle, I'm not even gonna lie, my Noelle roughly does as much DPS as my Neuvillette. Which I know, it sounds like a wild statement, and Neuvillette obviously does more damage than Neuvillette. But like when I clear Abyss with both of them, it's like the amount of time I need for Neuvillette to like reset and do his rotation again and all that jazz is like the exact same amount of time for Noelle to just do damage and continuously keep going. So I would say if you actually use Noelle and give her a chance, she's actually pretty solid DPS. It's just that most likely you just don't have a need of her. But she's actually very flexible. A lot of very good S tier supports can use Noelle. It's just that if you pull for S tier support, then you most likely have S tier DPSs. So yeah, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I hate to say it, but I think Noelle is A tier. Even at C6, I think that's the best she can muster. If you really like press Noelle, she will be triple S in my heart. But for now, I'm gonna put her in A tier. Maybe A plus if, we'll see how it goes. Okay, I have to make this one fast. Barbara, C. Do I even have to say more? Healing's ass. And her ult is I guess, but it's like, come on, Barbara. At least I will say, actually, I would be minus. I will say, with how characters have developed over like the years, where movement is a very big thing, and skills moving around with your character is pretty important nowadays. I will say she does have that. So I will give her a B minus for that. Sucrose. I think, to be honest, this is our first S tier, maybe A plus. Let's just put her A plus for now. She's pretty much just a 4-star Kazuha, which is ironic because I think when Kazuha came out, people literally said that Kazuha was just a 5-star Sucrose and you should just use Sucrose. But no, I mean, you cannot really go wrong. She's a very good buffer. She's pretty much a second Kazuha, which for theater and especially like the onslaught, having like a second Kazuha is pretty important if you have to fill up 3 teams. Which, if you own Kazuha, you know that Kazuha is going to be in every single team. So I feel like, honestly, I'm going to put her S. I feel like she deserves the S tier. Visual. I don't know if I'm talking way too fast or not, but it's gonna be easy. I hate Visual, but I have to give it to her. She's pretty damn good. And I have to do this in every single tier list. This fucking hurts me to put Visual over Noelle. But like, kit-wise, I can't deny Visual is pretty good. Do I think Noelle is a better DPS and does more damage than Visual? Hell fucking yes. Like, Visual's damage is mid at most, but like, Visual is just more of a flexible unit. It's like her damage is okay, but the fact that she's just an off-field DPS, which we arguably don't have many of, definitely sets her apart. And also, she's pretty easy to play. So I would say A plus for that. Mona. Honestly, who the fuck plays Mona nowadays? I have no clue. I probably shouldn't swear in like the first 5 minutes. I'm gonna put Mona at C tier. I don't know, to be honest. I just a feeling. I thought Mona was good. Then I tried to use her and she wasn't really that good. And I feel like there's like no reason to even use Mona nowadays. So you probably just shouldn't. Kaya, probably D. What can I say? I mean, character aside, because I don't like Kaya that much. Is there a reason to use them if you don't own a 5-star? That is kind of the reason, to be honest. Like, we have so many like other 5-stars coming up that need 5-star support more than they need Kaya, and even then, he's just not that great. His skill cooldown of his ult is pretty long, and his ult is not that great anyway. So yeah, same as Lisa. It's just like you're literally the first 2 characters people will unlock. So yeah, it's kind of, so it's expected that they're not that good. Maybe I'll put Lisa even here. She's a bit better than Kaya. Diluc. I always thought he was like kind of B tier, but I will say my bro has fallen off hard, which is probably something I had to realize sooner. I would honestly say at this point he might be even worse than Pyro Traveler. Genuinely, if I put the 2 side by side, I think genuinely that my Pyro Traveler would honestly be better. Maybe I put him in C tier. I think he's better anyway. Maybe put Mona something here. I feel like this is better. Pyro Traveler is just like has just more damage output. Like, I don't even know how to sugarcoat it. He has just more damage output than my dealer could ever. Razor, easy F tier. I don't know if he's top or bottom. I would probably say somewhere around here. Maybe this. Oh my god. Physical barely does anything. Need too much energy recharge. The list goes on. However, our next pick, his best buddy, is an easy double S. Do I even need to start glazing this man? He even has drip now. The only bad thing about Benny is that his drip was trash, but now he has drip, so nothing more to say. He's amazing, like literally. I will say one thing, maybe a hot take, but I do think Benny, if not C1, is here. It's like a little tier below, just because if he's not C1, he can only heal and do damage. Only heal or do damage. Pretty much get you the damage buff. But at C1, you get both. Meaning that just standing in the circle and just hitting is enough. Where if he's not, you actually need to wait until you have 70% health, and then he will do the big damage bonus. So, but with C1, I would say double S. I mean, C1, he's a 4-star. That's easy to get. If you get him like on a banner and then buy like a single copy in the store, you're set for life. So come on. And then we have Ningguang, which is another F tier. Probably the best F tier we have yet. I mean, unlike Noel, who's an actual good Geo DPS, you're just not. Like, you have to run through like a screen to do damage. It's like, listen, with the fries in the back, you're just not that great. They're actually just the bottom of the barrel. Beto. I quite like Beto, but I don't think she's that good. I mean, I've seen some pretty cute Betos, I will say. I've seen some pretty good at Betos. I think the thing is, I think Beto alone is B minus, but I think Beto C6 is like either high B plus or low A. So I think I'm just gonna put her at like a low B plus, right down the middle, or a high B. I think that's a fair position. I'll put her at high B for now. I think that's a fair assessment. And then we have Kaching. I recently had to build both Kaching and Kaya, and I can confidently say that they're both as bad as each other. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Rex. I did the fucking account for you, and I built them. I built Kaching at the very least. I think a bit more. And your Kaya team, if I'm correct. But oh my god, I cannot stress how bad they both were. It's like, I hit my mic with my gamer headset mic. I'm sorry for that. But it's just, compared to the other characters, they're pretty bad. It's like, they could be fun if you play them and just play through the game with them. That's definitely doable. But like Abyss and like Theater and Onslaught, like, it's not even happening. It's not even close. Xiangling, probably my first controversial take on this, but I actually, Xiangling, I don't think she's like here. I know many people find her to be like one of the 4 national characters, one of the GOATs. I honestly don't think she's that great. This is like probably the first hot take I will ever have. But no matter how great her ult is, if I cannot get it up on her own, then what's the point? Like, my Xiangling, I genuinely tried this. 200 plus energy recharge, and it's still not enough. Like, you need every single energy recharge item in the book, and it will not even be enough. And to be fair, although he's very adorable, and I know everybody likes him, Guoba is ass, guys. And I cannot put a character in like triple S tier by just having like one goated ability. So I'm gonna put her in A tier. I feel like A is very generous, to be honest. If I were me, my personal opinion, I genuinely think she's like B plus. But I feel like I'm gonna get fucking roasted, and at least I don't own a C6, so maybe having that C6 Xiangling really makes all the difference. So for that, I'll just put her in A tier. I think A tier is a fair place, but it's just, yes, your ability is very goated and your ult is very good. But if you don't have a C6, it barely charges. And you probably need Benny to even get it up consistently anyway. For those 3 reasons alone, like, your S tier status will go immediately. Sheng Yun, the one YouTuber who really likes Sheng Yun. I'm sorry, but he's F tier. He's probably the worst character in the game. What does he even do? Like, even honestly speaking, the only time I've ever recommended him was to the guy who wanted to build Gaia to Rex, being like, hey, you can make like a cryo physical DPS with Sheng Yun. A cryo physical DPS? I'm so good at recording. A cryo main DPS from Kaya with the skill. But like, other than that, it's like, come on, bro, put the fries in the bag. At least you have a pretty cool ult, I will say that. But your fanboy boyfriend, Xingqiu, is way better in that regard. He is the triple S easy. He's next to Benny. He's fucking amazing. Do I even need to say more? He's just like a very good Hydra off-field DPS. Which, if you play Genshin and you do any reaction team, you'll know that that's something you'll absolutely need. Like, you need to have a off-field Hydra applier at some point. Like, Xingqiu is literally a must build. I feel like sooner or later, you need to build him because half the characters of the roster in the game work off of him. And the thing is, if you don't want to build Xingqiu, you'll have to pull Farina. That's pretty much the only solution you will ever have. And I learned that the hard way. So take it from me, guys. When I was looking for a second Hydra applier, the only valid option is Farina. It pretty much takes like the best 5 stars in the game to beat Xingqiu. So that just says enough. Chi-Chi, am I going to be nice or am I not going to be nice? I would say top of F tier. I really tried to defend Chi-Chi, but I mean, her healing is way too ass. Although I like the principle of it, where it's like you mark enemies and then you attack and then get HP from that. That's pretty fun, but it's everything else pretty ass. I think like to get like a single healing from her, it takes like forever. It's insane. She's pretty bad. I mean, you lose her 50-50 on her, so did you really expect anything else? My favorite femboy twink, Venti. I love femboys, but do I like Venti? Or better yet, is he just good? I'm very conflicted. It's definitely in the B tier, but where? I think I'll just put him B for now. And then just, depending on which characters get in the B plus and in the B minus tier, I'll adjust later. I feel like that's a valid option. Now, Child, I'm not even gonna lie. You can't crit, first and foremost, which is by far, like, come on, that's F tier status right there. But, I mean, you do have an, like, what the fuck skill, like 30 seconds, I believe, even longer than that. But yeah, you have like almost a minute, I believe, like 120 seconds. Can we get the image on screen? I don't know if it's like edited or real, but I know your cooldown is pretty damn long if you don't time it well. Some may say skill issue, but it's like, it's Genshin Impact. How much more skill would you need to play this game? Some may say, I'm not really good at talking at the mic, am I? Oh my god. Some may say it's a skill issue, but I mean, how much more skill do you need to play Genshin Impact? Like, it's Genshin Impact, guys. Come on. I would just say it's in the C tier. Probably pumps up more damage than Pyro Traveler. Probably. I've never even seen it happen, but probably he will. So yeah, I'll put him in C tier. I really think he's not that great. Like, Child any higher than B is diabolical, to be honest. Like, he could be at the bottom of D minus at most, but like, this man does not do damage on his own. And the next character is even worse than that. Is she worse than Diluc? I don't even know. I tried to have Klee. I tried to play Klee. I just know she's very clunky, which is true when I played her. And I genuinely felt like that when I used her with Xingqiu just did all the work. And then she just vaped and then killed the enemies. So I'm putting her here. At least Diluc did some work. Diona. Honestly, guys. Honestly, I'm not kidding right now. I will put her in B tier. Like, maybe not B plus yet. But I feel like Diona is a very underrated character. And is one of those characters that is truly done dirty by power creep. Like, her kit is actually so good and useful. Because she can shield and heal at the same time. Like, she's pretty much a perfect support. Although her shield and heal are probably not that great. I don't even know, to be honest. Because there are just greater shielders and greater healers. And that's kind of where she falls short. But like, if you don't have like good support, or you're just starting out and you want to build a support, build Diana. She's very underrated, I feel. Like, you do not need these 5 stars because you have Diana. Please just build Diana. She can shield, she can heal. It's everything you will ever need. I want to put her higher so bad, but I feel like the B plus tier is just, I'm going to put you B, but definitely the B tier is most to be shuffled around with. Big Dong Zhongli. Honestly, no. He's an S tier. He's an S tier. I was gonna say A tier, but I think that's more like there are better shielders because they do more than just shield. But I think like when it comes to just I need a shield and I just don't want to die, I think Zhongli is still the best, or at least like the best in just you can just shield. Like he won't buff, but I don't think he's like better than even like the 4 stars because there are some 4-star shielders that are better, but they're only better with multiple constellations and certain conditions. Where Zhongli is just, yes, he might not be better by the numbers, but most of the time he's just better and easier. Oh, talking about a video game character hard work. Especially because for some reason, when unconsciously you stutter when it's in front of a mic. I don't even know when I got this habit. I genuinely think my best buddy who has the same, he rubbed it off on me because I never had this until I started recording and then I suddenly noticed it and I don't know anymore. But anyway, self-pity aside, another easy F tier. Honestly, sharing that worst character in the game spot, I think she's probably better than whatever his name is, Shingung. I don't even remember. It's not even worth remembering. I mean, at the very least, he technically has 100% crit rate at C2, which I guess that's worth something. You know, that's worth something. That is worth top of F tier status, I feel like. Albedo. I feel like I'm conflicted on this because I feel like his kit is F tier. I think that we can all agree on that, but it's also like I feel like Albedo. Okay, I have a theory. I think Albedo is gonna make a comeback because we're getting like not cry special elements, or at least I think we are getting that because we now have Luna charged as like Electro charged. So if we get like a Geo variant from that needs EM, I feel like Alhatem is gonna Alhatem. I feel like Albedo is gonna make a massive comeback on that because he uses EM and he's a Geo character. So if they just don't fuck up Geo and actually give us like a good new Geo reaction that needs EM, Albedo can pop off. Albedo can massively pop off. I'm believing in Albedo. I think when we make this video, mark my words right here. When we make this video a year from now at 6.8, I feel like Albedo is gonna be like a B plus. He's gonna be B plus because of the not right characters, or at least like let's just say B minus, right? Because it's still Geo, so we most likely are getting like 1 Geo character, maybe 2 if we're lucky. But I think he's gonna be way higher on the list when if we get a very good like not right Geo reaction. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced of it 100%. Mark my words. But at the very case, this is something I don't have any faith in. It's Ganyu. Honestly, probably put it next to D-Luke. It's like if you have her, if you own Ganyu, you have like her weapon, good team, could work, but I still don't think she's all that. Then we have Zhao. Probably one of my most conflicted picks. Because I think Zhao, if you have everything for Zhao, he can be S tier, maybe even double S tier when it comes to raw damage. I've seen Zhao put massive damage output from just leveling everything he needs. The problem is everything he needs are 2 limited 5 stars, 1 C6 4-star, and his 5-star weapon. And to be honest, it would also help if those other 5 stars have their weapons. So yeah, that definitely brings him down a bit. As flexibility, like he has a very specific playstyle, but if you go into it, he can be strong. And also he has a lot of artifacts options. So I think he will be our first B tier. I feel like he is a very good B tier baseline. He is a better DPS than, let's say, Noel, Xiangling, Fischl, but only if you get like everything. And if you don't have everything, then he kind of falls short on a lot. Where these other characters kind of don't have that. Or it's at least easier to get their necessary resources throughout your like first year of playing Genshin, because they're just 4 stars or 4-star weapons or things that appear way more frequently. Hu Tao. Where would I put Hu Tao personally? I think Hu Tao, I don't think she deserves the S tier. I think I gave her an S tier in my previous tier list and also in my personal one, but thinking about it, I don't think she deserves the S tier. It's just that competition is hard. And also stamina management, you need C1, and she's a polearm, so weapons are pretty scarce, few and far between that are actually good. Especially for DPS, the same goes for Zhao. So I think that the A plus is like a good place for her. She's still pretty strong and she could probably do some damage. But like the Hu Tao is not Hu Taoing anymore. Rosaria. I'm gonna put Rosaria in C. But I will say, I think Rosaria as a character is a D tier character. However, I think the intention her character has is CT worthy. It's just that this is one of those characters, and there are a lot more characters where she, in theory, should be very good. And she is, in theory. But in practice, she isn't. Her kit pretty much revolves around applying cryo off field and then giving your character more crit rate depending on her crit rate. And more crit rate is very good. And I would agree. But she's cryo. And cryo has like literally every single other crit rate buff under the sun. And because they're just so much more good crit rate, like cryo characters, and also ways to get crit rate, that was not a good sentence at all. I'm gonna try it again. Because there just are so many good ways and other ways to get crit rate, especially for cryo, like the cryo resonance and even like just the main cryo DPS artifact set. You already get so much nowadays that her kit giving you extra, it's just a waste of a slot. Like even not being cryo anymore, like the Natlan artifact set or the Maréchal Hunter gives you so much more crit rate than Rosaria could provide. So it just doesn't even feel worth it to build her anymore for that crit rate. But I think her kit giving you more crit rate is definitely worth investing if you need it. But I feel like the more characters you have and the more meta everything is going to get, she's fading out of relevancy. But I feel like her kit itself is CT worthy. Yanfei, I'll probably put it here over Klee. I don't know if she's better than Diluc, but I think she's definitely better than Klee. Eula. I find Eula hard to place because I feel like her nuke is still pretty good. It's just that everything else isn't. And it's also harder to get. Like, I know Eula is one of those characters that like mid-game, her nuke will really save you, but then like end-game, you have like other characters that can nuke and nuke way better. It's like it's like the well, how do you say that again? It's like the earthquake curve, but downwards. I'll put my editor, which is me, put a picture on screen of it. It's literally like the later you get in game, the worse she get, and she just plummets down. But I still think she's just a better DPS than Klee, to be honest. So I'll put her in C minus. I'll put Klee in. Honestly, do I think Klee's a better DPS than? I don't even think Cleve's better than this. So I'll probably put it here. Then I think this is better, to be honest. Put them in D tier. No, Shanna is low C. Shanna is low C minus. Then we have Kazuha. At the time of recording, I quite literally had a debate about this, but he is absolutely the best character until this point in Genshin Impact. There is no debating it. Someone said Jalonen was better than him, and we'll get to that. Watch the entire video to find out. Ayaka, my beloved, but the only cryo DPS I own, and the one I've been working to the bone ever since. Lols aside, I think her and a group of other DPSs, including Hutao, are gonna be like at the A tier, like the A plus. I feel like a lot of DPSs that are like from early to mid Genshin are kind of being pushed in this tier because they're not particularly bad. It's just that other characters are just so much better, and to really get these DPSs going, you'll need like the best of the best. Like my Ayaka is top 3%. I'll have it on screen. And she can barely keep up with the current Abyss. Or at least like with the Abyss before that, like just Abyss in general. Like she can make it. But like the investment, as you can see, is very, very, very big in my Ayaka. So it takes this level of investment and, 5-star weapons and the best support in the freaking game to keep up. With like a DPS that is more lacking. And this is where now we're halfway, right? We have made a list. I kind of want to incentivize again because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I would, like, on my personal experience, the way I build my characters, this is not particularly accurate. Like my Noelle, when it comes to just like how I use Noelle in the Abyss, it's just like here. But like that's not what this video is about. But it's still funny to see like if you rank characters objectively on what they can and cannot do, and how you would use them, how some characters just fall short in many other different ways than just being a good character. Like some of these characters can absolutely shine if they're given the right treatment, and some of these characters just cannot, no matter how busted you are. Which we're still assuming you're a quite normal player and you don't have like every single character C6, because then it doesn't matter. Yoimiya. I think Yoimiya is like the same category. It's like, I would say Shenna. Ayaka, of course, Ayaka. Shenna's later. Ayaka is definitely like the best out of the three. But I feel like these three are like the old top three, like generation of ultimate characters. Like these were the ultimate DPSs back in the day. I think. I just don't really know because I wasn't there. I joined from Zumeru onwards, fun fact. But anyway, I feel like these three are definitely like the Arlecchino, Mavuika, and Skirk from then. And of course, like they're falling off heavily. Sayu, I'm actually gonna put her in B+. For one reason, I tested it on stream with my Jean, and she actually has surprisingly good healing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like her healing is not even that bad. Like I think it was better than Jean's overall. The only reason I would ever want to build my Jean over my Sayu is because she's C2, and so she gets more speed eventually. Which, because I lost my 50-50, because of course I fucking did. But no, yeah, her healing is actually better. Like I tested it out, it did more. Although I will say, of course, Sayu is C6 and G was C2, so there are some like, number differences and hidden buffs and yada yada yada. But overall, she was way better. It was not even a contest. It was not even close. So yeah, I think that's worth something, which is definitely like a tier higher or at least above G. So yeah, fun fact. Raiden. God, I hate to do this to you, but I think you're B tier. Fuck. I mean, Ryan has fallen off, guys. Even with like later characters, I try my best, guys. I pulled Raiden's weapon for her, thinking it would turn things around. it did not turn things around. She can barely keep over 300k. I think the one thing that definitely sets her like apart from Zhao is that what she needs is even more hyper specific, and she doesn't even have that much of it. Unlike Zhao, where Zhao has like limited 5 stars and even like just the best fighters in the game that synergize well. Where Raiden doesn't have that. Raiden just has Sara, and that's it. So unless we get like someone who can really synergize well with energy recharge, synergize well. What the fuck? I'm gonna try it again. Unless we get someone who really synergizes well with Electro and with like Electro characters and becomes like Farina level busted, Ryan is not coming out of the dark abysses anytime soon. She's like fully power equipped with this update. She is B tier at this point. There's no saving her. Which is very sad because I mean, I really want to put her here, but it's like she can just not get an advantage from just the other characters when it comes to buffs. She just needs Sara so bad, and the other characters just do not have that weakness, or have like supports that are just way better than Sara as a support, which means they will do way more damage. Speaking of the devil herself, Sara, I don't know. I mean, she does give quite a buff, I will say. So I'll put her like B minus right after the Shogun. But it's like probably put the Shogun then here in the B tier, like top of B tier. I feel like this is good for them. Kokumi A tier, probably bottom. I don't think she's really better than like a DPS Noelle and a Xiangling. Mostly because her jellyfish can't move around, which, as we have established, that's a pretty big deal. Fischl, although it doesn't move around automatically, she can resummon them, which that's definitely better than not being able to at all. These are gonna be some quick fires. I feel like I don't really have much to say. Having said that, D tier, easy. Don't need to explain more. His kid is ass, and his kid only lasts for like 5 seconds anyway. E2, no six pack having ass. Controversial take. I think he's worse than Noelle. And I'm not trying to be biased. I genuinely think that. I don't think he's that great, to be honest. Like, I have either seen Itos do crazy damage or just not do anything, and there is like no in between. Where with Noelle's, I have seen in between Noelle's. I have not seen in between Itos. Also, I think that synergy with better characters is very important. Like, you could be a mid tier DPS, but if you have good synergy with other characters, which is up to RNG, like we can never really think of that like 3 years ahead, which what will be like DPS and what will be meta. We would never know. Like again, Albedo could finally, after like 5-6 years, be like crazy powerful because there's a new character that has geo reactions that skill off EM would really work well with him. And like Ito, who was really strong and designed to be DPS, can just fall off by a 4-star because Noelle in this case just synergizes way better with like the other characters that are coming up later, like Farina, for example. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in A tier. I'm definitely just not biased because I use Redhorn on my Noelle. That's definitely not the reason. Also, would we really say he was better than like Yoimiya? I feel like he wasn't. Like, genuinely speaking, I feel like I never heard anyone be like, yeah, he's better than like Ayaka or Yoimiya. I don't own Ito. I barely played Ito, so I can't really tell. So there's kind of these things where it's like, I'm a Genshin YouTuber, if you want to say that. Like, I'm like a content small, but I am technically a content creator, and I've made more videos than this channel. But still, it's not like a full-time job like actual Genshin content creators. It's not my job to own these characters and like make guides on them. Goro, kind of want to put you in like the same tier, but I'm gonna rank you a bit differently because you're a support at a very niche one at that. Your C6 is pretty damn busted, but you do have Geo. Yeah, like you're full committed for Geo and Geo only. And Geo's just not that great. And with the addition of Navia, who's trying to branch out from Geo characters, your C6 unfortunately isn't really that valuable. So again, maybe things can turn around for you in Nokrai. I really hope they do. I absolutely do not hope they're gonna make like charge crystallize. The crystallize give you an even better shield than before. I hope they don't do that. I really hope they don't. I see him do it. It hurts my soul. Shenna. To be honest, I think I'm gonna put Shenna like way higher up the list. Because although she's like very niche and she should be like in this trio, as I always like to call them, like very niche DPSs that just have their like main DPS from the get go from day one and are just released for that DPS. I do feel like her being a 5-star and also the amount of cryo dominance there is, like with them being very easy to get crit rate, Escoffier being added to the game, all those different factors. Oh, to be honest, there are only two of them, but you know what I'm trying to say. With those different factors, I do think she is a more valued niche support than, let's say, like in this case, Goro or Kuchasara. So although she's very niche, I'm gonna rate her individually instead of, overall, like some other characters get that treatment, because she would literally be like C minus when she's not C minus at all. Yunjin. I feel like this is another Kuchasara kit. I feel like on paper she should be very good because she increases normal attack damage. But just like with Sara, I wanted to say, just like with Rosaria, I feel like there is just no place for her on the team. It's like there are just better ways to make those 4 slots work, and she's just not one of them, which is very unfortunate because I do think her kit is pretty good. Yaimiko is a conflicting one for me. It's a very conflict because I like Yaimiko, and her damage is pretty good, but I don't know if it's better than Fischl, to be honest. And also, her skill doesn't really last that long. Like her kit is very like unimpressive because it does a lot, but it doesn't do anything at the same time. Like it just is a lot and it doesn't do anything, which is unfortunate. I think she might be a B plus. I think she might be top of B plus currently because I don't know. I really don't know if she does more damage than Fischl. I don't even think she does, to be honest. And also getting her like C6 and all that is way harder than getting like official. I think official C6, which is not how I've rated her, but I do think that it's like official as a 4-star is just as much worth as Yaimiko as a 5-star. It's kind of what you just prefer. Nah, no, no. I think if I say that by default, I have to put them at the same. Like I really don't know which one is better now that I really think about this because I haven't built mine, but I also haven't seen officials that are like more efficient than, or at least more like do bigger damage than like Guy Miko. Like Guy Miko, I don't believe she does bigger damage than like a properly C6 official, but I don't think official that's not C6 can keep up with Guy Miko. It's kind of like very weird. And the same reason I think Xiangling is considered S tier is because she's like an early game character like all the other characters that are considered S tier. So most people have them C6 and have like the C6 version of them in their mind. But like at a C0, could she keep up? That's the question, to be honest. And I think the answer is no. I think actually Yaimiko, now to think about it. By just comparing her to Official and like thinking about it logically, I think she might as well be as good. It's just that like I don't know why it's like you have to press 3 times and it doesn't do anything. I don't know why. You just have to press 3 times, go about it, like emerge, do whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, she just does damage. Now that I do think about it, she doesn't need to. Although you do have to reapply the skill, you don't actually need to like recall it, so it does fit better in rotation. So I think that levels the playing field with Fischl. So yeah, I'm gonna put her at A plus right next to Fischl. I think Fischl and her are equal. I think that's the final verdict, which is kind of sad considering. Yeah, Miko is a 4-star. It's a 5-star, and Fischl is just a 4-star. But I think Fischl is a 4-star. Although I hate her personality and I hate her with all my might, she is a very good unit. A very, very good unit. Unlike our next one, Ayato. I tried my best. You are ass. You're even worse than Child. Get your ass out of there, bro. Get out. Oh, I still have a lot of cards to go through. Holy shit. This list gets longer and longer every single time. Our latest skin having girl, Yolande. I think it's very hard. Double S. I think she's double S. Triple S, I mean. Because the thing is, I want to put her in double S because I want to fill the gap. But I think she is, if not better. I mean, she does more damage than Xingqiu. Let's just put that in front. She's a bow user, which is kind of not many good weapons. But also, skills of HP, Fontaine, definitely using Xingqiu and Yolande together. I would say she's triple S. I can't talk for shit. I'm going too fast. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do the whole Yolande segment again. It's our next skin girl having Yolande. Skin as in the outfit, guys. Come on now. Everybody has skin. Anyway, sidetracked. Triple S. I do want to put her in double S. I don't know why my brain is telling me to do that, but I think she's triple S. I think she has deserved that status. Without a doubt. I mean, she does more damage than Xingqiu. Although she may have a bit of like energy problems, it depends. It's just she's very high stat demanding. Like you need to have like good crit rate, quicker damage because she does damage at the end of the day. Unlike Xingqiu, who has a bit more utility, as in damage reduction and actually healing. Xingqiu can actually heal. Yolande does do damage. So if you can get the stats and you can get the nice balance between energy recharge and damage, you can do a lot with Yolande. It's just that other than that, she's pretty much perfect. Which Xingqiu doesn't have, but he clearly has like a lack of damage, even at C6. See, Cookie's always a hard one. I think Cookie's kid is like here. I don't think it's that great. Your ult is useless and your skill is pretty much just a healing skill. But you're just so good at triggering elemental reactions. So I think I'll put you here. Are we really rating like Cookie with elemental reactions or without? Like Cookie without Dendro is like this. Cookie with Dendro is like instantly this. So yeah, I think putting Cookie like between here. I feel like putting Cookie here at A, middle of A, is very deserved. Like I don't think she has a better kit than let's say like Noelle or that other girl. I forget names. I'm very bad with them. But I also think she has like a worse kit than Kokomi or even Ito. I just think her kit is just very heavily demanded on Dendro. But then again, Dendro is in the game and though things are just the way they are. So, she's just lucky, I guess. Hazel. Hazel. Make strange sounds. Blah, blah, blah. I was thinking of making this like a more like ASMR type tier list where I talk really deep and go really close to the mic like this. I don't know. Let me know in my next video when I do tutorial if you guys want a more like this. Just like no audio, nothing, just me and the mic. But for now, I'm gonna put Hazel at B+. T6 Hazel is very good. I've seen T6 Hazel perform miracles. Yes, even better than Raiden. I mean, actually, no, wait. Hold up. If I put Hazel there, I should put Raiden there. Because Raiden does do more damage than Hazel. Easy. So Hazel should, even at C6, should probably be B. I feel like it's a pretty balanced list so far, looking at it. Tainari. Is Tainari better than like any of these other ones? I don't think, to be honest. He's a very good main DPS, but also a very basic one. He's pretty solid, but nothing special. Kale, kind of the same. Would say Dendro. So put it here. So I think Hazel's better. I mean, being Dendro and having certain weapon types does play a factor. So I would say for you being Dendro, you're like basically down the middle. You're a good unit, but a nothing special unit. Dory. I'm not even gonna say anything. So I know. Next. B minus? I don't really know, to be honest. I think he's better than Child. He's definitely a tier better than Child. But just not that much better. Not that much. The single D's not choke. You go in C. Definitely the C tier. Maybe even the D tier. Yeah, the D tier. You're the top of the D tier. Just because you don't really do anything unless I want you to do something. Which is not a lot of times. My favorite girl, and probably the best girl of all of Sumeru, Nilu. Double S. The thing with Nilu is, and it's very easy, is that although she's very niche, again, I'm gonna rank her at just how good is she what she does. She's very good at what she does. It's like there is no denying it if you can pull Dendro off like on enemies, if that is a thing you can do. Some enemies might have auras or other things or just immune to Dendro. But if you can use Nilu and you can go Dendro, you can really go crazy. She's very, very good at what she does. There's absolutely no denying it. Unfortunately, she's just very, very niche. So if you don't have a good team built for her, which I mean, if you don't own a Hida, then she's pretty much fucking useless. I think she's a good fit for double S. It's like she's not good enough, not versatile enough, and just not strong enough as a DPS to be in the triple S to be at that top. But I also think she's not bad enough, not like powerful, like really less powerful. Like she's just too powerful to be in the S tier. So I think double S is the perfect spot for her. Nahida, probably my lowest triple S, but a triple S nonetheless. It's like you can't go wrong with Nahida. If you need anything Dendro related, go to Nahida. And she gives massive EM buff, so. Layla, kinda in the same boat as Dory. She's probably a very good shield, and I have heard she was technically a better shielder. I'm not putting my life on that, absolutely not. But I heard she had fully leveled up, technically a better shield than Zhongli. However, Zhongli doesn't have a cooldown, so he wins in that department. And he's a 5-star, so that also helps. Like more base stats and all that jazz. And also, like, same with Nobel. She's like one of those characters. Same with Dory. It's like a why bother? It's like your kid is good. Your ult is very nice to have. Very niche, but very nice. Your shield, very solid. But there are just better characters that are pretty accessible. That are just better than you, unfortunately. So yeah, go back to bed. You deserve it. You are a very good girl. Why the fuck did I even say that? Wanderer. Yes, honestly, very hard to say. I do actually own Wanderer, which is a funny story. I wanted Genfei because at the time I had no clue what gacha even was. I just knew that 5 stars were cool and swag, and I got him. but I didn't know who he was. I never met him. I never did anything with him, so I built Genfei because I thought Genfei and Pyro were swag. I didn't understand at the time that I was like, oh, I need characters from every single element and not just the elements I want to play. And sometimes just having teams with one element that does big boy damage is better than having a bunch. But having that said, I own him. I cannot say really anything because I mostly use him to cheat my way and fly. Which, I mean, flying is already gets you up there, I will say. So damage output, I honestly can't say. I would probably put him somewhere here. Like, I'm pretty sure if I build him, he would do more damage than if I would build Druimia. I'm pretty sure of that. But I don't think he's S tier. Especially because, again, he's pretty heavy when it comes to things you'll need. He is a catalyst, which at the very least you have that good free-to-play option, like 4-star. But also you need the C6, Farbuzan, like you need all that jazz to make him good. And to be honest, I think anime DPSs definitely get the short end of the stick always. Like I never saw a DPS, like an anime DPS come out and be, well, good. It's like be meta. But they always fall off very quickly. I generally feel like out of the anime DPSs, Zhao is the best one in terms of raw damage output at their best. But I just think that like Wanderer's gonna get easier to like a higher level of power than someone like Zhao. Like Zhao just needs that investment, and he probably will be better if you give him that. But I think like overall, in like how easy it is to build, how available, how much good weapons they have, how good they synergize with other characters, I think Wanderer is way better in all those things. So he gets a spot on the A+. Oh my god. At some point, right, I'm going through all these characters. This is the point where I start to question my entire list. Because I feel like in my mind, I'm keeping track of all of it. But when I have to speak into the mic and explain why I give them like the tiers that I do, it's like I feel like I put like Raiden in B+. For like the exact same logic I put Wanderer in A+. It's like I don't remember why I gave the characters the spot that they get and why they don't go higher or lower dependingly. It's like I'm also going off a feeling because it's sometimes way too hard to remember every single character and how they work in relationship with each other and like how good characters are, because the hard truth is like I'm putting Farmers on here, by the way. Like these are the three, they're pretty much the same. Very niche, you need T6, same reason. But anyway, it's like if I have Raiden on my account, I have Zhao on my account, right? I would probably bench them both for Mahuika anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I will say I have cleared more abysses with Zhao than I have Raiden. Which I could be my fault, but I. So yeah, again, this tier list is definitely more for fun. You can have your own opinions. I don't know if I said that at the beginning, so I'm saying it now, I guess. If you made it this far, you should definitely subscribe, because as you might have noticed, I can do voiceovers, and I want to be better. And definitely let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know your opinion on this. Like, pause the video, put a comment down. For now, we're rating Al-Haytham. I think Al-Haytham is a double S. I feel like we're getting, like, the double S is going to be filled up now. Because now we got, like, all the old characters, all the fodder out the way. We're going to level up the double S. Al-Haytham, I use Al-Haytham till this day. He's very good. Probably because he's Dendro. So Hyper Bloom works, but just having, like, Hyper Bloom, Farina, and him doing damage at the same time, it's amazing. Absolutely. Works very well with almost every single off-field DPS character. Very flexible, and does a shitload of damage. Like, what more do you need? A Yao Yao. I kind of liked Yao Yao in the beginning, but I feel like the more I played with her, the more she fell off. So I will put her. I don't know. Would I put her like above the old characters? I don't even know that because her healing and her damage output, or at least like her general apply rate, how fast that is. I call it like general application rate. I like to call it that. I don't know why. Is very like indifferent of each other. Like sometimes she heals, sometimes she applies dendro. She, as far as I know, cannot do both unless she C6. I don't know for sure. So for that reason, I'll probably put it just in C minus. I think bottom of C minus might actually be just like a good place for her. And Dea. Oh my god. I don't want to do it to you, Dea. I really don't, but you are a fucking disappointment. You are a worthless character. I am sorry. I love your character, but your kid is just. I'll put you in D tier for pity. You are top of F, but I'll put you in D tier. I just can't. I can't get it over my heart. Kaveh, honestly, very slept on character. I feel like Kaveh genuinely is kind of like Nilu, but it's just like we have Nilu, so why need Kaveh? You know. Maybe you could actually. Is this a thing? I don't know because I don't own Nilu. I want to own Nilu, but I don't own him. Can you use Kaveh and Nilu together? Because I know Nilu makes these specialized dendro cores that do way more damage and explode way faster. But Kaveh, he doesn't take damage from Bloom and he can make dendro cores explode on command. So could you use them together? And if you do, like, which character would like influence the damage? Would it be Nilu because she created the dendro core? And like her special kit would override like the EM from just, you know, how normal dendro cores work? Or would it be Kaveh because he is exploding, making them explode? He triggers them. Actually, a very good question. Nilu mates, if you're out there, definitely let me know, actually. Let me know if you can use Nilu and Kaveh together and just make your Nilu more efficient. It doesn't answer the question on where we actually want him on the team, or on the tier list, I should say. Because on the team, he's definitely not going. I think he is a solid C tier. I think you could use him in Dendro teams if you want to play Bloom and you don't own Nilu. But if you don't, then there's no point. Coco, chocobo looking ass motherfucker. I'm gonna put you in D tier. I don't even know this guy's name. I forgot. I forgot it on the spot. He boosts physical attack, I believe, and attack speed. Like Yunjin should be very good on paper, it isn't. I've tried my best. I tried it with Eula because I know he's like a Eula support, which also doesn't help. So yeah, I feel like D tier. It's appropriate. Is he worse than Klee though? That's the question. Is he worse than Klee? I mean, he's definitely bad. He's unused. I will say that much, but it's probably less unused than like this. I feel like he could be. He could have funny builds. He's definitely one of those characters where it's like you're not F because you're not unusable, but you're not C because you're not usable. You're just, if we can use you, we could in theory, but in practice we don't want to. Now Baiju is a different story. I will say Baiju has like the weirdest thing ever. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But like his general applies and his healing is actually pretty good. So I think actually like a pretty high B is deserving. Top of B maybe? Somewhere in the B tier. Don't know if I would put like Jean or Diona over him. Because just like Diona, he can shield and heal. And he's Dendro. But the main thing is, of his shield, for some reason, I do not know why, his shield seems to like vanish for a moment and I would still get hit. Even if I see the shield around me. I don't know what that is. I could not explain it for the life of me. But yeah, his shield sometimes just doesn't work. I don't know if it's a bug or it's like a thing of his kit I missed, but it's out there. I will say that. Just a worse bite you can't heal with a wacky ult. But she was still a good shield. I used her shield for a while. I will not lie. She was pretty much Baishu's placeholder until I got Baishu. So yeah, there you have it. Lenny might be a skill issue, but I think he's the worst ATR ever. I don't think he's that good. I really try my best, but I think he's way too slow. And maybe I'm just using his skills wrong. I most likely am, but I cannot make this dude do damage for the life of me. And I really tried. I've only seen a C6 of him like melt and nuke a crazy amount of enemies, but that's C6. Oh, my back. Oh, this takes long, homie. Oh my god, we're an hour in. Okay. Didn't think it would take that long. Lynette. B plus. I feel like a B plus is just a good place for her. I don't think she's better than all of these characters. It's just like I don't think she does like the animal buff justice. And even if she gets an attack buff and is animal, she could like get VV and get that threat, all that. I just don't think she's better at what she does specifically than what all the characters in this tier do what they do. So I think she's the bottom of B plus. From an A, get that same Eula treatment. Probably better because you're a bit faster, but yeah, you're not good. Worst of the siblings by far. But then Neuvillette, oh my god. I don't know if I want to treat him better than like the support, so I'm gonna put him here for now. I mean, he's triple S regardless, but I will put him here. And then Risley is kind of like his disappointing brother because I thought genuinely he was gonna be the best front-end character when he came out because he was like Cryo and Catalyst. I only played Ayaka at the time, so I was like, yo, Ayaka is pretty much just a sword wielding Catalyst because he just gets like the sprint and does cryo damage. So a character that doesn't have that just has normal cryo damage from the get go should be broken. And then he wasn't. So yeah, that ended fast. S tier, I think he's a better DPS than like let's say Yoimiya and Wanderer and honestly, nah. A plus. I'm gonna do it to him. He's at the disappointing DPS tier. I'm doing it to him. I don't think he's S tier. Because I think my Yoimiya and Yoimiya in general has a better ult than Risley. And normal attacks are not that far off. So I think therefore we could also just put Yoimiya. We could put Ayaka in S tier. Nah, I think A plus is more appropriate. I think something like this. I think Wanderer may be here. I don't really know how great an average Wanderer is. He's easy to build at the very least, but I don't think he's that great of a DPS. And then we have Farina. Easy double L. I don't need to say more. Jeez. I'll probably say a lot about her at the end of this video. For now, you just need to know she is the best by far. Charlotte. God, I wish you were better. I like you so much. You're a Cryo Nahida, but you're not good. Not a good Cryo Nahida. I will say, if you could be used, I will say, yeah, but actually, hold up. Scratch that. Absolutely scratch that. All Cryo characters are done dirty because of like the other characters that are coming up. But Shenna is just way too good. She's just way too good of a support. Although they are in the same tier, I would say they're worlds apart because the way Shenna buffs and the way the other cryo characters give utility is just way too big. Like their kits are relatively equal, but you will always take extra damage over any other type of utility you can get if you only can slot in one extra cryo. If your cryo DPS, your cryo support, Kazuha, and then your healer. So yeah, there's no room for these other cryo characters except for Shenna. So I do think their kits are relatively the same for like Shenhe to Shenhe. That's why they're pretty close. But I think in practice, the gap is just far wider because there is no reason to be like, oh, I want less damage and more healing in any situation. Like you have 4 slots and 2 slots of them are gonna be cryo use mostly if you don't own a Scavier. And even then, it's mostly gonna be Shenhe. So yeah. If you have limited slots and Shenhe is going on one of them, so there's no reason to put another cryo on there. And again, even if you have Scavier, she's picking up a slot and she can do whatever the other characters can also do. So yeah, although I think their kits are very good, the gap in practice is far wider. But as a unit, not specifically for cryo, but you just want to use that unit, I think the cryo girls definitely are good. It's just that power creep exists. Navia, a character should be way better in practice and isn't. Oh, I think she's definitely better than Risley. I would put her as like a character here. You could say Zhongli is better because he could be used in way more teams, unlike Navia. So you could put it like this, but I think it doesn't really matter. I think what matters is that she's like one of the DPSs that breaks through into the S tier, unlike these other DPSs. And I think it does make like a big difference. Like she is good and she's definitely better than like a Hu Tao or a Yoimiya, an average one. Even if you put like everything into your Hu Tao, you love Hu Tao, you made Hu Tao, C1, weapon, I think just like a C0 F2P Farina can already come very close to your maxed out Hu Tao. Ooh, my favorite. Unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna put our very specific overload unit, our best niche unit, in right here. I'm gonna put in S tier, thinking about it now. So this is probably, I can go on about this for hours because she doesn't really do a lot, but like the extra damage she gives is insane. She's one of those units. At C6 she's a beast, but without C6 she's also just good. She can buff, she can heal, she can move around. Her ult is very easy to get and it's pretty much a very good instigator for triggering overload without triggering it. So that you could use your skill, charged up, and get the buff. I think she's very good. She's pretty much a must-have in any overload team. You know what? I could put her lower in theory. I could put her like here or like, I don't know, somewhere else. But honestly, I'm going to stand by this. I think she is S tier. And I think she only becomes better the more constellations you get. She is truly like the C6 Sora we always needed, but we never got. I think she's actually S tier. Like, yes, she's very niche, but she's so good at what she does that she deserves that S tier status. In overall Genshin, yeah, you could put her into the rest of these. But again, rated individually, I think individually she's S tier. I think that's a fair call to make. Unlike this character, I would say A+. I think she's good at what she does. She is definitely very niche. Only plunge DPS. But she is pretty fucking good at what she does. And she can heal, which will make her very good with Farina. So maybe for that, I would also maybe put her in S tier. No. I would say A tier. Definitely. A+. Don't get excited now. Don't get excited now. A+. Reason is, although plunge DPSs have gotten many more options, specifically more than Zhao in recent years, I still think it's way too niche to be considered as over something as big as Overload. Like Overload, Electro and Pyro, there are a lot of good Electro Pyro DPSs who can make use of that. And if in Nocrai we get like new reactions that work with like electric charge, overload, whatever the fuck, we get like lunar charge reactions, I think having her is way more valuable than any other like niche character because she's just like very big. very big spectrum of characters. Oh, Gaming better in Brads. I would say just that easy. He's a fun DPS to play, and if you really want to have plunge, he could. But like, he's definitely a collector's edition. Chiori, oh my god, I cannot stress how ass you are. I would say, I mean, is even B tier? Is that really even deserved? Maybe top of C tier. She's really bad. Her kit is like very confusing. It's like the same as Jaimiko, only you do not do any damage and you do not synergize with any reactions because you're Geo. So yeah, you get done dirty. I think Chiori genuinely got done dirty because her character is pretty fucking cool. It's just that her kit specifies something double, wasting an ascension talent, and one of her ascensions is like so useless because I think it's like off the top of my head, it gives you like extra damage when you decide to be on field, but like your on field damage is so fucking useless. It's nothing. I genuinely thought like, oh, she's gonna be the character. I'm gonna use her like a semi main DPS to get like more energy for Noelle and do some off field damage at the side. So that's why I got her. And also I lost a bet to chat, which I had to get her because I got her weapon and I said if I can't beat Abyss until the end of the stream, I have to get her weapon. And I didn't. So I unfortunately had to pull her. Which that hurt. But I own her now and I can confidently say that yeah, she got done dirty. Her kid needs a rework. If her kid got like a rework to have like more buffs in and of herself and also give more buff, I think she would actually be very, very good. It's just that she's way too dependent on Zhongli for some reason. And her kid is like, oh, here you can do this thing twice now, but also you can't. And you don't get anything for it. Yeah, very sad. Yeah, I might start streaming soon. Holy shit, I'm not gonna make it. Alicino, unpopular belief, but I actually think she's double S tier. If she's double S, let me say it like this. Many people are like she's top three DPSs. I don't believe so. I think if we're gonna rank DPSs, I think she's definitely in the top 5, specifically number 4. But I think for this tier list, I'm gonna put her in double S. I think she is better than I hate him damage wise. And I am pretty unlucky with my Alicino. I will admit. Like my Alicino definitely got the short end of the stick. So I'm trying not to base it off my Alicino. But I think that personally Alicino just got power creeped to the point where her single damage output doesn't really matter anymore. And also to the point where it's like, I don't think her damage output, it doesn't really matter that much anymore. I genuinely think right now, he's the 4th DPS. I think Neuvillette is better. That is my verdict. He just synergizes better with the other characters, which makes his damage, well, at the end of the day higher, which edges him out. I think that's what gives him the victory over, like, Ardashino in this case. I a lot. Holy shit. Yeah, double S. It's an unpopular opinion, but I think double S is appropriate. Like double S, bottom of triple S. I don't think she's like the peak of the peak. Oh, Clorant, you're definitely not C tier. I very much love you. I think you are just this. I've heard people say that like Ferez is like 10 times better, which I guess we will see later on this tier list, but this is definitely the point where if I own this character, I know them, and if I don't know them, I don't know them. But I think you're pretty much equal to Navia when it comes to damage output. And, I mean, you are S tier. Like, I think S tier is just a valid place to put you as a DPS. Honestly, looking at it, I cannot just look at Zhongli being that high. I think you are definitely on the lower scale of S tier. You are a support, which makes you more valuable, but I mean, come on now. You need to actually kill your opponent, so DPS are important too. She's sweet. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I don't even know why people use you. I think you're genuinely D tier. Like what? Uh, the only good thing about you is that you can give those Hydro Abyss mages the same treatment, which is what they deserve, and it's pretty funny fucking. And it's pretty funny, I will admit. Seto is kind of a forgotten Forza DPS. I think I'm going to put him at the same boat as Garming. You can use them if you want to use them, and if you get them like early, they're gold. If you don't get them early, then they're useless. And now we have Emily. Honestly, very unpopular opinion, but I do think Emily's actually like right here, honestly. I think she's better than all these characters. In like terms of her own characters, I feel like Cookie, for example, is way higher up if we rate her like how good she's with Dendro. How good she's with Dendro, she's definitely like again double S. But I think there's like a bit on her own. She's like in the B tier, maybe even in the C tier if it wasn't for Dendro. So that's why I kind of like to etch it out a bit and be like, we'll go middle of the road with like A tier for her. But I think Emily is the other way around, where her kit is just not appealing because it works off burning, and burning just increases the damage she does, but not the damage of burning itself. So you need to trigger burning to actually like pump her damage. But I do think her damage is pretty good. So if you're just willing to put her in a team with a pyro DPS, you're pretty much there. That's kind of what it is. But it's not that that goes over like potential melt, potential other. Oh, holy shit. But that unfortunately doesn't go over like potential melt or potential vape or other reactions that are just better than burning. Because burning is like the worst reaction in the game. You would know because, of course, you guys watched all my videos, which are like 3, including this one, and you definitely trying to make a joke, damn. And you definitely watched my how to play Denver video, so you absolutely know that Burgeon is the worst reaction because you guys watch every single video I post. And if you don't, then you should subscribe and watch it because it was a very good video. Molani, S tier, honestly, debate. I don't think there's a debate for that. Maybe even double S, low double S. She's a nuke DPS. I've seen almost practically anyone who owns her get like 1,000,000 damage with her. Just that she's just so damn slow and annoying at sometimes, but other than that, she's truly a nuke DPS. What more do you want? Kachina can be used if you want to. Unfortunately, no one does. See it here. Can be used. No one does. Also, I just noticed fucking Child looks rough in this image. I don't know why. The shadows, it looks like ill. Even worse than. Oh my god, girl, you good? Kanish. Underrated, I would say. It's hard to say. I think his damage output is definitely something to scoff at. I think I will put him like only next to Emily. Like he can do over 100k, which is definitely more than some other characters can do. And I mean that like he can do over 100k pretty easily. Like not just like, oh yeah, of course he can do over 100k. Every good character can do over 100k, but like he can do over 100k pretty easily if you just level him up right and just give him like a solid weapon. And also like for a DPS that's relatively fast, hitting 100k is pretty impressive. Unlike for like Raiden, who can hit 300k in one go, but then barely can hit 20k. So I would put him in, yeah, Raiden. Do you want to put him over the well? I don't know, to be honest. C6 DPS Noel is pretty damn good. I will not lie. I've seen the C6 Noel. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, I do have Red Horn, but even without Red Horn, I've hit way higher numbers than all my friends with their Canisius. And their Canisius were no slouches. They had like his weapon and everything, but still. I don't think Kanish has that team, where it's like even with Emily, it feels like his team is more of like a hyper bloom situation where it doesn't do big numbers, but do a lot of numbers very fast, where Noel does like bigger numbers. But even then, I feel like his teams, he just uses the worst reaction out there. So that's just kind of on him. So I feel like his kit really did him dirty. I think the way he moves and his whole flow is pretty good. It's just that if he used like Bloom or Hyper Bloom as his base instead of Virgin or Burning, he would have been way higher up the list. And then we got Jalonen. And now I want to talk about the top three. This is the top three best characters in the game. It is in order: Farina, Kazuha, Jalonen. Arguably, you could say Benny. Like, this could also be acceptable, but I think Jalonen is a bit better because we don't play Circle Impact anymore. But Jalonen, she doesn't buff as good, but she heals. And she's very flexible. Kazuha, very flexible. Buffs way better than Jalonen. Like, I think it's slightly bit, but still, it's definitively better. In no situation, a fully leveled up, properly leveled up Kazuha and a fully leveled up Jalonen, they do not like. Kazuha does not over. Jalonen does not overtake Kazuha because Jalonen has a hard cap as much as she can buff because she buffs via her skill, where Kazuha has it via a passive just based on EM, and EM has no cap. You can just go as high as you want. It's just that the EM requirements need to be there. And Farina, unlike these other two that need a reaction for their artifact sets to give like half the buff, she doesn't. She's fully self-sustainable. She does off-field damage. She can heal. Her buff doesn't require anything. You literally just need a healer, which there are so many characters like Jalonen that just buff and heal in addition to really work well with Farina's kit. That makes her, in my opinion, the undisputed champion of Genshin Impact. She is the best character, no questions asked. She's fully self-sustainable, has no weaknesses, and the only one she has is that you need a healer, which is something you need regardless. So yeah, I literally had a discussion about this today that people were like, yo, Kazuha got power crept. He didn't. He just got power crept by Farina. But that's only because Kazuha, in some situations, unfortunately, cannot troll because you're either using Dendro units or the enemies have an aura, meaning that they have like infused pyro on themselves and other elements, meaning that you cannot apply an element and then swirl that element because it will automatically trigger a reaction. For example, these guys in that land are infused with a pyro aura, which means that the moment you actually try to put another reaction on them, like Electro, for example, they will just trigger overload and have pyro applied, meaning that you can't swirl Electro at any point. And there are more examples like Hydro, like this dude in Fontaine with Hydro. Maybe it's the better example. Like, you cannot swirl any other element because bro is just Hydro. Or Slimes. Slimes are also pretty good. Kazuha glaze aside, because I can glaze this man and give examples for him all day. And I will make a video about them in the near future. I don't know when exactly at the time of recording. But in the meantime, we will go on to Jessica. I am not even going to sugarcoat it. I think she's like here, maybe even below Raiden. I tried my best. I have seen Jessica's. I was like, you have 2k attack, like 50 crit rate, which with the Natlan set that they all got is like fucking 90 crit rate. I'm saying that right? I'm saying that right. And then like over 200 plus crit damage. She just did not do damage. And I don't know why. Like, again, I think that Animo DPSs just get the short end of the stick. I don't feel like they're good. Like even Wanderer, I see him in this list and I'm like, my gut feeling is just like put him in like B tier. But like I feel like he can do damage. I just don't know. So he's definitely like he gets the benefit of the doubt. But Jessica does not get that treatment. I've played enough disappointing gameplay with Jessica to know that she's like god awful. I'm already gonna put her. Rather have her than her. I'm not gonna lie. Give me the photographer girl. She can at least snap some good pics from her Instagram, and she's actually likable. Jessica, I mean, you're hot and all, but who asked? You do have guns, which if I were an American, I would very much appreciate. But I'm not, so you're getting the B plus. And Aurora, you have the baddest grandma known to man, but your kid, I played with it today. What do you even do, brother? Put the fries in the bag. You know what? I'm gonna give you top C tier, like C minus, just because at least you had a clear vision. You know, you're not a bad DPS. You're just an off-field DPS that applies Electro. You had a vision. You do night soul damage, but it wasn't very good. And then now we have Mavika. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Shadi is bad, and I don't mean she's pretty. I mean she's bad on that motorcycle. Cause my God, I remember the first time on a casual farming, I pumped out 700k damage, and then when I was doing Abyss, in Spiral Abyss, no food buffs, which you can't even equip, she just did like 1,000,000. Which at this point in the game, my highest damage ever recorded was with my Raiden, food buffs and all, against like the level 70 Skara, and it was like 300k. Not even, it was like 299. So for me, for Mavika to pull out that much damage when my Mavika is not even built that good was absolutely insane. Like it was so insane, like mind-boggling. I was like, oh my God, so this is what power creep is. This is what they mean. Like, that was the one time where I felt power creep for the first time. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And Sidlali, honestly, I feel like she's one of those characters that's definitely like Sucrose. Maybe even double S. I don't know. She's definitely a shield. She's definitely better than Zhongli. Because if your character is either Hydro or Pyro and you need a shield, there's like quite literally no reason not to add her. Like even if you don't necessarily want to use Melt, just triggering that reaction will already increase the damage your DPS will do. So it doesn't even matter. Like if you don't want to freeze, doesn't matter because just triggering freeze once will already just increase your cryo damage. Don't want to melt, it doesn't matter. Just triggering melt already increases your pyro damage. Like it doesn't matter. I stutter a lot. Why? I hate it. Again, I'm probably just wait. I've been doing this for an hour. My throat hurts. But to just put it in the back, I'm probably gonna talk a bit quieter now. There is no reason not to have her. I cannot stress it enough. She truly power crapped at least for those two elements strongly, just because there's no reason not to. Your damage will just be increased passively. Unlike this girl, who probably went into the depths of the abyss and never came back, I'm not gonna lie, I heard people say she has a better shield than Zhongli. And I don't know if that's true. I got her. I never used her. I was pretty excited for an animal shield. But I feel like she has been forgotten. So for that fact, I'm gonna put you at C tier. Probably the same treatment as them. Just good kid. Wanna do like, oh, you could absorb more elemental damage depending on what you roll. But that's not that great in practice. So yeah. Mizuki. Although I'll hate to say it, I think she is a top of C minus. Solely because, I mean, I don't think she just doesn't do that much damage. Like that's the problem. She doesn't really damage that much. Her healing is pretty okay. And her movement is very nice, I will say that. It's just that she kind of needs off-field DPSs from different elements to pop off. And there are only two types of off-field DPSs. Off-field DPSs that are just support, and off-field DPSs that can also be on-field DPSs. We don't really have that much. I am gonna stay off the field 100% of the time and do not have like anything attached to it. For example, Farina. She does off-field damage, but she's also a support. Mavuika can technically be an off-field DPS, but is better as on-field DPS. And the list goes on. The only ones at the top of my head that I know to be full-on off-field DPSs, like just I'm going off the field, you will never see me again, and I just want to do damage that way, is Fischl and Jaimiko. I think those two are like the only official, what I would call off-field DPSs, because the other ones are like, we can do damage off the field, but we do like other stuff. Or we have like a setback why you cannot use Mizuki, for example. Like another good off-field DPS is Emily. Emily's a very good one. But you have that, how do you call that word again? I forgot. Oh, I forgot the word. Fuck. You have that one thing that's just like, she has to use burning. I forgot what it was. Setback. Let's just call it a setback. You have that setback where it's like, I have to use Virgin. So I can't really swirl. Also because I'm Dendro, but that's besides the point. Or Escoffier, where it's, you'll get more damage if you only use Hydro or Cryo characters. But she's Animo. So there are a lot of those characters where she doesn't really fit in. I think her kid is pretty fun to play around with. But we don't have characters that fit in with her nicely because we don't have like very many dedicated off-field DPS, especially for like driver who wants to have like, hey, I want to throw many reactions. So I want many reactions. I want many elements. We don't have like a lot of those characters. And also, why use her when you could use Noelle? Like, I mean, there are some 4-stars who can do more damage and still bring that driver role of like, there are a bunch of off-field DPSs, but I am just gonna protect the team. I'm gonna be like the on-field tank and risk myself. Then Mizuki. Which, I mean, that is Noelle kind of, because she can heal and shield. But I'm gonna stop glazing Noelle. I just love Noelle. Veressa. I don't know if she really deserves this double S tier, to be honest. Is she really that good for the double S? I don't know if she is good enough for the double S. I think she's very, very good. And I've definitely done numbers with her, and you can be very fast. I think I'm gonna put it right next to Clorant. I'm gonna split the couple up for a bit. I don't think she's definitively better. I think that's an opinion if she's better. I think they definitely have their own teams and their own strengths and weaknesses. So I think it depends on which character you can give more. If you have like characters that go more towards the plunge DPS, I think Veressa would be better fit for you. If you don't, you have like characters that synergize better with, you know, like fast melee type characters like Clorant, then I think Clorant's better. But I think they would be roughly on the same strength. I don't know. Probably would need a side by side. Now Janssen is a very interesting one. Because I think Janssen kid's actually like Benny level worthy. However, it doesn't buff quite the same. I would say maybe here. I think here's a good turning point. It's like she is by far, from a long while, one of the best supports we could have gotten. Like buff wise at the very least. Like she's very good. I haven't personally built her yet. However, I've used her in teams that could make use of her, which are arguably a lot. She fits in very nicely. And overall, she's just a very, very good character. The only downside is that you have to move meaning that earlier characters and even characters that aren't as fast as Mavrika, because that's the level of speed you need to get her buff all the time, don't get put into the equation. So even someone slow in quotation marks, like Yoimiya, that doesn't really move from the place she's staying at, can't really make use at the buff. Like even if you move around a bit, you need to be moving around at full speed, Mavrika speed, to get the buff all the time 100%. So that's the only downside. Other than that, she's very good. So for like, I don't know, overload, like with, fuck, why did I forget the name? With Benny and Noxlrant. I'm just gonna cut this. With with other teams that don't really move around as much, she's unfortunately very bad. You can use her where you just use a burst and then get like a burst DPS, like Raiden, for example, in like an overload team, to just to get like that first instances, and then it's just like you're not gonna get the full buff, but it doesn't matter because the damage has already been done. Literally. A Scavier double as. I think a Scavier, although very niche, very niche, is very good. It's like she's so good at what she does. I think overall, I think it's the same as the other characters. It's like, yes, there are niche, and I think overall, if you don't fit that niche, she would be like B plus. But I think if you fit that niche, which that is how I want to rate them, she's pretty much the god tier cryo support. Even Hydra, to be honest, you don't necessarily need cryo because she can do off field damage, she can heal, and she can buff by just having party members in and causing freeze, which because she can do off field damage, she can do herself. So she's very self sustainable, which is very nice. Also, she power crept cooking, which that's an achievement in and of itself. Eva, damn, you're after dog. You're like a worse Miski, genuinely. I don't even know how to use it, and I don't even want to. I believe you can use Xingqiu. I believe. I don't know that for sure. But if you can, I'll put you in D. You know what? I'll actually put you in D tier, even if you can't. It's because this boy's F tier. We're getting our first Hydro Shield, and I was excited for my first Hydro Shield. I was very much excited. But his skill, oh my god, what is it even supposed to do? Like, except for exploration, because of course it's an exploration skill, but like in combat, what is it supposed to do? It don't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It is garbage. I hate it. I hate it with a burning passion. I cannot find a single team you would pick him over any other shielder. I think he's genuinely F tier. Unlike Skirk, I got to play with Skirk today. I don't think she's better than Mavrika, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe that was a bit how I played. Maybe I didn't understand it because I don't own her myself. I did play in like her most meta team. And although it was very hard to see her number, so it was hard to fully confirm, I think my honest opinion is right here. I think she isn't necessarily better, in quotation marks, than Mavrika when it comes to pumping out damage, because I do think Mavrika pumps out higher numbers. But I do think she is better than Valette because they're both kind of like fast DPSs, and well, she's way faster and she does way better numbers. Yeah, I don't know. I can cut that part out. I think this is a fair placement. I think I would generally say my top three is Mavrika is the best. After that, Skirk. After that is the Vlad. Supports aside, DPSs. We have Argino as the fourth, and then I'll hate him at the fifth DPS. I think those are generally my top five DPSs in the game. Like, you know, and of course, we have some other characters ranked here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna actually not think about it. Probably put him here. I think he's A. Am I happy with this? I think I'm pretty happy with this. Even Venti. Our latest character. Honestly, I'm full disclosure. I wanted to make a short about this because when I saw her in the live stream, I thought she was gonna be ass. When they said to me we get Lunar Charged, which was just gonna be a replacement for Electro Charged, I was very disappointed, to say the least. I was really, really disappointed. I really thought to myself, why? Who bothers? Like, genuinely, I've never in my life recommended a taste team. I never figured why you should ever use one, and I thought the only point of using one was for Spiral Abyss, for characters who conveniently needed that reaction, like the Cactus, like the latest one. Like, he just needs that reaction, so a team with those elements and characters are just like better for that. But other than that, I never thought like Electro Charge was just a good team. But I can say, all the hating aside, I'm pleasantly surprised about how good she turned out to be. Not only that, just how much fun she is. I didn't get to play with her directly, but I got to see other people play with her, and to be honest, I am pretty good at forming like a vision of how I wanted to play with her if I owned her. And I can confidently say I would genuinely put her like maybe top of A plus, maybe even low S. Like, I genuinely think she's pretty good. She's obviously the first Nocrai character, so I'm gonna put her at A plus for now because she does lack like an artifact set currently that's really for her, which probably is gonna come the next patch, so she will probably be way better. But also, like, she's a good off-field DPS. She can trigger every single Dendro core. Lunar Charge is a pretty achievable electro reaction, even in a Hyper Bloom team, where she's like the main Hyper Bloom one, meaning that she can technically, as the only character in the game, trigger 2 very high damage reactions. Like, very high damaging reactions. Even if you pump like a shitload on EVM on her, she would still like easily get like 15k charges over it, which is very, very good. So yeah, I'm very personally surprised about her. I was gonna make a video where I would, you know, say that I didn't like her and that I'm displeased, but I was like, I'll give her a shot, and I wasn't. She was way better in practice than she was on paper, and I'm very happy about that. Now, we have ranked every single Genshin Impact character. I like to terrorize a bit more because we are 2 hours into the recording. I'm actually 20 minutes over schedule because I should have started stream by now, which, if you want to see my streams, I'll most likely be streaming the 6.0 update of Genshin Impact. But I do stream Monster Hunter World. I am very high level and I'm trying to get affiliates with Twitch. So if you would love to support me to just get to that viewer count, I would very highly appreciate it. Links are all down in the description. But if you ever miss a live stream, don't worry. I have a VOD channel that you could subscribe to. Having said that, I do want to theorize about the new characters. Now, I don't know if like their weapons are already released. I know them. Unfortunately, I do. So I'm gonna give a leak warning here. I don't think I'm gonna talk about leaks, especially when this video comes out. However, I still give it here. If you really don't want to know anything, you don't even know the elements of these characters, you have not been on the socials, this is your moment to, go down and subscribe and then click off the video. But for those who want to, she is gonna be Dendro. Now, I have heard some things, which are all rumors, but being Dendro in and of itself is pretty good. Assuming that we're gonna get, just as, I already forget the name, but the Electro Charge DPS, the new reaction. I literally said it 2 seconds ago. We're gonna get one for every single element, I'm pretty sure. Now, no matter, unless she's gonna be Burgeon or Burning, like super Burning, their chances are very high that she's gonna be very good. So I'm gonna put her in double S for now. It's a very high privilege, but already having been like, hey, I'm gonna be a character who's gonna make Dendro even better. That sounds like a top tier ability. For this girl, she is revealed to be Hydro, officially, I believe. And I don't know much about her, I will say. She can kind of go any way we want. However, she is Hydro, meaning that she will work well with her because they can trigger the new reaction together. And how good the new reaction has been so far, if they kind of play into it, or if she just plays like a completely new reaction, she could definitely fit in the A tier. So I'm gonna assume the A tier. Now for this guy, I also don't know many much, but that he's Electro. So he might have the exact same reaction, but maybe in a different way or in a different kit or a different form. With our new girl, I don't really know how you say her name. I think it's Eva. I think that I said it. I just call her Fi. She kind of looks like Fi from Legend of Zelda. She kind of has that same vibe. But at least this depressed looking guy, who I might actually pull, works very well. I might have that same reaction going on. So I'm very curious to see how he will use that, because it's still like a Hyperbloom-esque reaction where the reaction does all the damage and not the character itself. Unlike some other reactions, like some characters use Crystallize, and then get those crystals and shoot, like Navia, or have other little things like Bond of Life or increase and decrease HP. So if he's gonna use that same reaction, he might actually be very, very fun to use. But I'm very, very curious how he's gonna be used. Like, I just don't hope he's gonna be just a power cut version of what we have now. And I also don't hope he's gonna be like a different reaction. Like, I hope he's not gonna be like, oh, I am a conductor one. I use instead of having my thing warped into like with Hydra, I do it with Cryo, and I'm a physical DPS. Like, that would be ass. I sincerely hope he doesn't. So yeah, these are kind of my predictions for the other one. Editor, have it on screen right now. But this is our current tier list of every single Genshin Impact character outside of course, the Fatui, because they're not playable. Columbina will be playable. If we're gonna rank her, I think she's gonna be meta. I think double triple S is pretty good. I can't really say a lot about her, but all Fatuis I think have consistently been meta for a while at the very least. So to say that she's gonna be is not a stretch. I want to thank every single one of you for watching. This is the entire Genshin Impact tier list video. Did you agree? Did you not agree? Let me leave it down in the comments. I'm gonna make much more content, including Genshin Impact, Doom Eternal, and just other Let's Plays and voice acting work very slowly, because I want to get into that. If you have any lines or opinions about this tier list, or yeah, again, lines you want me to do for voice acting, you can leave them all down in the comments. And if you want to see VODs, go to my Twitch. And if you missed them, unfortunately, you can always watch them back at my VOD channel. I upload every single one, so you don't have to miss a single thing.